Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me on all of our live stream discussions, including this morning. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend Rick Voight. He's actually no relation to John, contrary to what I thought. But as we were talking off camera, it makes for a good kind of party trick at events. But he is the founder and CEO of Vivid-Pix and a friend of my longtime friend Karen Thomas of Thomas PR. A number of you know from my coverage of CES since 2010. And so I thank Karen for bringing us together. Without any further ado, Rick, tell us about Vivid-Pix.
Well, hey Zenny, how are you? It's so nice to spend time with you today on camera, and it was nice spending a little bit of time with you last night too. So as I mentioned to you, I'm gonna turn the camera on you a little bit in this interview as well. And,
Oh,
oh, dude, You're- so Vivid-Pix. So quickly about me. So I've been in the photo business for 39 years. Kodak, HP, helped a buddy spin up a company, and we founded Vivid-Pix 12 years ago. And our first product, our first patent, automatically improved underwater photos. And so people like kidding around with that and saying, and your business is underwater, huh? And so that's a nice way to, and then our second product was second patent was Vivid-Pix Restore, and so our first product, underwater product. So it automatically improved photos that were taken underwater. And if you think about if you've ever snorkeled or scubaed, all your pictures come out green. And the reason for that is the warm colors are filtered out, and in water, and water's kind of blurry, right? It's not clear. So as such, then our second product, second patent, was Restore. And Restore automatically improved old faded photos and then documents. And then we got further and further into the genealogy family history world. And so kind of our big thing that's going on right now is 2 years ago to sell Memory Station. And Memory Station, I'm sure we'll spend a little bit more time on, but it helps people relive the memories that photographs are. Photos are prompts that allow us to remember memories. And we don't want to let them fade away, literally fade. The color goes away because of age, and they fade because time passes. And that's Vivid-Pix. And
what was the aha moment where you came up with this idea initially? Because it's been Karen sent me a number of press releases, which I've ran dutifully over the years. But what was the aha moment where you said, "This is the solution. This is what I'm going to do"?
Yeah, wonderful question. So we had been in business, I guess, for 4 years, and a company who was the distributor of the Kodak scanner was able to break apart the Kodak scanner from the image improvement software, and ironically, Randy, my business partner, co-founder of the company, holds over 150 patents in digital imaging science, and
Wow. Say one more time, please.
with Kodak holds over 150 patents in digital imaging science. So he was involved with all the digital stuff since the late 90s, and then myself, I was actually responsible for rolling much of that out in the United States. So I'm the business guy, right? And so here we were all these years later that a company was saying, would you be interested in having a software that it's like, that's kind of cool. And then two, the underwater market is wonderful. Still love it. The family history market with all of our old faded photos is an extremely large market. And it made a lot of sense for us to start that, and it's simply grown since then. So that was the aha time.
And what today has that product from your perspective morphed into regarding your product? I just want people to really get a sense for.
Did I just freeze or did you?
Wow, that's never happened before. There's now two of me.
Yeah, you seem. Yeah, I'm checking my speed and I'm good. Um,
That I'm going to leave closed. There we go. Awesome. That has never happened before in my entire history. It's like I felt like you watch Star Trek.
yeah.
It felt like I was literally beamed into two people. One, and maybe because of that, we could talk about the importance of maintaining memories in a digital way efficiently, which is what Vivid-Pix is all about, right?
So absolutely. So we kind of went in there for the what was the aha moment of really focusing on old faded photos, and then most recently, kind of where we very focused on. And there have been a couple of pieces of that. So the first big piece was that we realized that institutes of health define reminiscence therapy as using um, photos, photos, music, and household items for those with cognitive decline in order to reconnect them and create conversation. And with that, the photo aspect of it caused me to think about, well, I wonder what research has been done on photo reminiscence, and there basically was very little research. And so it was like, well, I'm a photo guy. Let's see if we can do something about that. So it took a couple of years to find a partner to do the work with, and we ended up finding a partner in the National Institute for Dementia Education to do primary research in using photos for those with cognitive decline. And with 10 million people suffering from in the United States alone, that's a nice thing to do. And then the other kind of aha of that is that cognitive decline tends to occur as we age. And that's an extremely large market, meaning us baby boomers, I'm a boomer, you're a boomer, we're all boomers. The
We rule the world. Anyway.
So it would be really nice if we were able to relive memories and find ways now with this primary research, if there were ways that we were able to exercise our brain, which becomes more and more important, in ways that are fun and enjoyable. And we've all got closets filled with photos. We want to relive and reminisce and leave a legacy. And so you put those two things together and you create the memory station. So let me kick on that. So the memory station, we ended up partnering with Fujitsu. And Fujitsu is the largest scanning company in the world. And they had this really cool scanner that top-down scan in order to be able to scan photos and documents as well as mementos. So we can actually scan up to 1.5 inch tall item. So think about military jewelry or not just military ribbons, but all these little tidbits that we collect through life that have wonderful memories associated with it. So photos, documents, mementos. And we're able to scan all those. And then too, and by the way, that's the PFU division of what was Fujitsu, now owned by Ricoh. And that's kind of fun to work with, which if you Ricoh, it's a $15 million. But they're also the company that bought Pentex way
Right.
back when. So,
Right.
I mean, they're a cool company.
I had a Pentax. I had a Pentax camera. Yeah, that's right. Right. Yeah.
So with that then, and so we got this really cool scanner, and then like I've described, Randy's pretty smart. So we ended up capturing the control of the scanner because we're experts at photos. So that allows us to be able to capture the image and then to be able to bring into our Restore software. So Restore, again, it's been around for over 8 years, to automatically improve old faded photos. And then the next part of that then is, well, as I'm looking at all these images, we're all going through this time that mass digitization is going on. So if it's not in the cloud, you're probably going to lose it, and your kids are never going to look at it, and let alone grandkids. Right?
Yeah.
We need to digitize stuff, but people are digitizing their memories, and they're basically turning an analog mess into a digital mess, and they can't access anything because it's just a digital mess. So what we've done then is to be able to scan to restore and then add a voice memory. And that voice memory then gets attached to the image, and then we stream those together to create stories. So that allows me to be able to create when I was a freshman in college, or I'm taking this road trip right now. I'm like,
hey, push back over here, push back over there. That's fun stuff. He is the modern day Albert Brooks. If you remember the movie Lost in America, we were talking about off camera. This is how he rolls, literally. This is literally fun stuff, man.
I live vanlife.com. Wonderful place to live, and I spend about 7 months out of the year in a pretty nice van, and spend a lot of time by the river. If you're a Saturday Night Live fan, you'll get that. And
yes.
And it's really, really fun. So that ties into kind of the legacy. So Rick, you were a VP at Kodak and HP, and decided to form this company, and now you're strolling down the road in this van and looking at pretty places and helping people relive memories. Well, that's my legacy. I want people to know who I am in the future. So we've tied all of that story together, whether it be an old memory and or new memories, so that we can share.
Now, if I want to buy this right now, how do I do it?
Sure. So Vivid-Pix.com, Memory Station. We bought the URL. So memorystations.com or Vivid-Pix, Pix.com, and that will go right over to us. The first item that you see come up on the screen is Memory Station, and in the navigation bar is Memory Station. And we've got different products. We've got the consumer market. So there are certain needs for consumers. We want it easy. We want it fast. We want everyone to be able to look at our stuff and to view our stuff. So from a technology perspective, that's JPEGs and MP4s. So JPEGs for photos and MP4 for videos. And Memory Station Home Edition is all about that. But we're also in about 1,000 public libraries. Our Restore software is in about 1,000 libraries. They're interested in TIFF. And TIFF is archival quality information about the image. So we've got a product called Professional Edition for people like that, or for professional genealogists and stuff. So we have both available right now, available at vivid-pix.com, and that second item there, Memory Station, click on that and all the different assortments are available.
This is really something else. So I can this really takes care of a lot of my imaging problems in one fell swoop. Through your devices and also do you have an online service for those who may be sort of challenged and need your help? How does that work?
Yep. So a couple of things. If in fact, so first off, if you're in technology, you should design your solution, My World software. You should be designing your software that anyone should be able to use. And as I like saying, we have Kodak roots. I spent 18 years at Kodak. And Kodak, George Eastman had a line that created the company. Too bad they're not doing quite what they used to be able to do. But you press the button, we do the rest. And that's what launched Kodak to be the, mega. And our software is built that way. We did research with senior living facilities, with older adults, with experts in industry. So everything is literally one button easy. And then two, so many times we get information, we buy something and there's no owner's manual anymore. Well, we actually, when we send the software out to you, there's actually a downloadable 4 pages of here's how you install it. Here's how you install the drivers. Here's how, with great big pictures in order to be able to actually use it. And then we have tutorial videos. So we design everything with ease of use in mind.
And this says memories fade. This is really the focus of the Vivid-Pix press release too. Memories fade. Photos and cerebrally, as you were saying. Vivid-Pix, don't let your memories fade. Trademark solutions. Products, services, and education helps individuals, caregivers like myself, and organizations. And you can store and record. I'll pick one. Restore photos and documents like that. Yep. And it has it goes to a new page I'm going to have to open, which I will do subsequently. And goes like this. I'm going to have to put you over here as I bring those pages back and open this one and then 2, and that's 1. We have restore on the left and land and sea scuba on the right. Take us through what we just found here, by the way.
Totally. Yep. So underneath solutions, so what solutions is good for is that I was responsible for fairly large swaths of Kodak and of HP, and was able to look at lots of technology and put those technology pieces together. Vivid-Pix were not HP or Kodak, right? So what we did in solutions is to look at the best of the complete use case that people need to go through in order to be able to images, and I don't know where to start. We've got education to help you organize your photos. I want to be able to digitize, and this wonderful memory station is great for analog stuff, photos and stuff that have been printed. But what do you do with slides? What do you do with old VHS tapes? Okay, so I've got services in order to be able to take care of that. So that's, yeah.
I'm going to use that. Sorry to break it. I've got a lot of them. Oh, wow. Awesome. Go ahead.
Totally. So that's what solutions does. It brings you through the whole journey of meeting all of your photographic needs. So you chose restore. So our photos have faded. And if you click on, say, that first video there for restore, this helps you.
Easy to improve most any image type, color, black and white, sepia, document, and also most any type of image format, JPEG, TIFF, PNG, RAW. Simply select one or more images. No black and white, a color, it'll document. And let's grab one more document. The software analyzes the image, and we adjust color, contrast, lightness, and sharpness all at once. We present you with a 9-up screen where the software feels that the middle image is best. However, as everyone sees lightness and contrast differently, and these are extremely difficult images to fix, we ring that center image with varying amounts of contrast and light, with more contrast in the bottom left, less light and less contrast in the top right and more light. I prefer the middle. You're now presented with the before and after image. You can just view the original, the improved, or both. I'm happy with this fix, so I hit Save Next.
Wow. So let me stop there just out of interest of time, but well, not that we're so stressed, but just in terms of flow. What is Land and Sea Scuba then?
Land and Sea Scuba is the exact same flow, but designed specifically for underwater photos. So, yep. And you know, it's interesting, the journey that you go on is there's a difference between green water and blue water. So, you know, if I'm in the Netherlands and they've got heavy green water, or on there's this heavier green water versus the Pacific Ocean, which is more blue water, you need to be adjusting for improvement differently. So again, the same sort of, let's make it simple. Everyone sees images different. The algorithm's really, really smart. That's why we have 2 patents on how to be able to improve these images, and then just easy step-by-step stuff.
This is something else. You have Memory Station here, in Memory Station Home, Professional, Community. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Sure. Why don't we pop over to the Memory Station page?
Yeah.
So if you click on the very top, Memory Station.
Oh, right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no
Yeah.
problem. So what you went to there is though, however, so we've got a home edition, we've got a commercial edition or professional edition, and then we also specifically designed for community locations. So I mentioned we have wonderful relationships with libraries and the like. So at that point, there's community, there's professional, and there's home. So similarly, if you clicked the top left here, this is Memory Station, and Memory Station is all about, how do I take a lifetime of memory?
I have so many pictures and boxes and documents of things going back to 1894. I'm so glad that I found some way to preserve them for my family and future generations. Let's get started with my Memory Station. It's so easy to use. The image stabilizer flattens the photo to make a better scan. Then all you do is press scan. Really amazing is that it doesn't have to be a picture. It can be an object and it will scan it. Click Restore and your images will automatically go into the Restore software to make them look great. So this is a faded photo. So you want to go up to Faded Print or Slide and click on that. And then it gives you all of these options, and you can pick the one that you think looks best to you and click on that. And you can see the difference. It's amazing. So now that I have restored my image, I'm able to record a voice memory to go with it. So I'll go down here to record. This is my grandmother and all her sisters. I think there were like 12. And they are picking strawberries in her brother's strawberry farm. It's just great. They all have their bonnets on, except my grandmother. She was a little bit of a rebel. Stop record. But it's wonderful because now I can share this with my whole family. They've never even seen it. And you're all set. So Stories allows me to combine my images and my voice recordings of my memories to create movies. So this screen allows me to remove any images that I might not want or move them around to create a movie. So then you go to Create. Now let me share this wonderful short story with my family. This is my grandfather's naturalization paper that he got when he came over from Ireland in 1925. This is my grandmother and all her sisters. I think there were like 12. And they are picking strawberries in her brother's strawberry farm. It's just great. They all have their bonnets on, except my grandmother. She was a little bit of a rebel.
Okay, so we got that one. And this is something else. It really is. And so you say scaling is a snap here, right?
A new perspective on.
So that one just digs into the scanner, and then the one to the right of that, kind of like I described, is make it easy for people to use the tools that you've created. So literally getting started pulls the machine out of the box. Where do you put the wires all the way through using it? And it's, in 7 minutes, you're up and running.
And so it comes to the box that's shipped. You set it up here, basically.
Exactly.
And you can get right to work.
And that starts speaking to this digitization thing that we're doing, which is if it's wonderful. Some things need to be sent out and be done. Professional stuff, slides, things like that. A lot of that's better to be having been done professionally. But these photographs, who else knows that this is my grandmother, that there were 12 sisters, and my grandmother was the rebel, the one without the body, and that's the fun of family history.
And you're really also helping people who are analog become digital. It's sort of a subversive plot here.
In an easy way?
Yeah. I mean, I love it. This is, because of folks, you all don't know this, he and I are from the same generation. So we have a lot of the same family that are in that analog to digital transformation. My mom is downstairs using her iPad.
So,
right?
So this is exactly the place I wanted to go to. So you happen to be with your mom right now. My mom's 92, your mom's 89. And we need to be able to help them through this chasm, but then also we want to be able to spend time with them and learn the things before it fades away. So tell me about that, please, on your side.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because we have a lot of photographs that we have parenthetically talked about organizing, but I think also digitizing. And I was on a tear to do that a few years ago. And then as mom's age went up and my responsibilities increased, I kind of, as I realized in talking to you about it right now, I got off that. But it was always at the back of my mind, including even today, not proposed to this program, but just my mom is 89. And we have these memories that are not properly digitized in a way that we can put them online and look at them. And then we have this, I don't know if your mom has this issue with Facebook, but my mom has one. It's a love-hate. And so she doesn't want all of her stuff out there, but she wants it digitized so that she can see it and share it as she chooses to do so. Right?
Absolutely.
That's the objective.
So totally cool that you're bringing her into that digital world. My mom doesn't have the ability to do that anymore.
I'm sorry.
Yep. I'm very fortunate with the positive. So with that, if your mom's having fun, maybe she's reliving a moment that happened decades ago, and she wants to be able to Throwback Thursday some really fun thing. And the way our product works is it goes directly onto her computer, and she can share it as she wishes. It's not sitting up in some cloud that somebody else, she's able to choose what's shared and what stays private.
That's exactly it. And also, yeah, our parents at the point they're lost a lot of their friends. And so it's just good to have those memories anyway, because it's a good idea. I mean, I'll just say it. A lot of my time is spent here being the conversational outlet for my mother. And it's a lot of fun. Sometimes we get to these points where we might recall something, but we don't have the right tool to finish the conversation. I mean photograph, something that happened.
Yep.
And then you start thinking about it, you realize, hey, it's actually over there downstairs, but it's not digitized, right? It's
Right.
not digitized. And we go through this every single week, Rick, every single week. I mean, where you're at with this is an enormous industry. And I don't know that anybody's actually calculated, or, what am I saying? Has anyone calculated how big this problem really is?
There are over 100 million Americans over the age of 55. It's large.
Wow.
There are over 100 million Americans over the age of 55, 12.5 billion globally.
Wow. I mean, it's just something else. Hey, so let me take you back to the website. Is there anything you want to go through there, or you're the boss?
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, if you pop back over to Memory Station.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Actually, no, let me bring you to education instead.
Okay, so click on here, right?
Yeah, please.
You got it.
So this speaks to, you've got a closet full of stuff, and I don't know where to start. So Kathy Nelson there, the first image on the left. So Kathy founded a company called the Photo Managers, used to be called the Association of Professional Photo Organizers. 1,200 people around the globe that can get your photographic life in order. But a lot of people choose not, for many reasons, to have somebody do it for them. Takes care of that. I want to be able to tell the stories, but I don't know how to invoke the stories from myself or with others. So we've got education for that. The photoreminiscence therapy piece. Again, cognitive decline is a reality. So we actually have education for loved ones, me with my mom, and or professionally caregiver with a loved one, in order to be able to use photographs to connect people. And then if you scrolled up a little bit, we've got Reminisce. It clicks on the primary research that we did, reunions. We own Reunions Magazine, a 33-year-old company that helps people have family reunions. And what do you do? How do you bring people together? And so we've got a ton of free education and structured education, trying to help everybody.
Photo reminiscing can reduce stress and and depression during coronavirus. Now, I know what photo reminiscing is, and you know it better than I do. But for those of out there who've heard the term for the first time, what does it mean?
Yeah. So the easiest way that I can describe it is, remembers 50 years ago better than she remembers 50 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And I can put a photo in front of her, and man, she takes off. And that reminiscing of a time does a couple of really wonderful things. First off, it creates neurogenesis in the brain. So as we age, we're told to exercise the brain, have brain health.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so photos do that, because you relive them, you're reconnecting those synapses. And then also photoreminiscence, when we are reliving wonderful times, endorphins are released physiologically in our body, which reduces stress and anxiety, so we actually feel better. So that article was written during coronavirus. Post coronavirus, the United States wrote an article that we have a loneliness epidemic going on in the United States.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yep. So unfortunately, multifold, right? So during COVID, a lot of us, of course, had to lock down, and a lot of us feel uncomfortable coming back out, and you're always isolated, right? You're by yourself. You're isolated. Isolation leads to loneliness.
Yes.
Loneliness leads to depression. Depression leads to dementia. So that loneliness epidemic, because we are not interacting the way that we used to, has really gone up, and that's a senior population. Many studies that was written by the Surgeon General is our youth are lonely as well. And how can our youth be lonely? Well, unfortunately, they're spending a lot of time here as opposed to running around. So they're lonely. So, we as a society, we need to figure out all of it.
And that's, to me, a big problem. And this device is two-dimensional. And what even bothers me further is, I don't want to go off on a rant or get down that pipe, but the idea that there's an artificial intelligence, and my thought is not to be too analog about it, but I'll just say it. Rick, to me, intelligence is also formed by your recognition of where you are and your physical well-being, the fact that you have arms, legs, a head, spatial time. A computer can't mimic that. And so, you know what I mean? So that's a part of intelligence that I'm sure somebody's thinking about it, but if you're not putting it into a physical body that knows it has arms and where it's at, I don't know what to tell you. To me, that's not really intelligence. And yet we're going to push people into this world, right? And say, this is better for you.
What are your thoughts?
I think that with devices like Vivid-Pix, better time is spent, because to me, this is really a conversational, this is really a tool of bringing people together. Better time is spent trying to figure out how to develop technology to keep ourselves together and to advance our families, rather than advancing technology that by its design will divide us. I mean, my point is, just because, since you asked, and I don't want to go off on a rant, I want to get back to you, but just because we can do a thing doesn't mean we need to do that thing. And I'll leave it right there. What do you think?
Totally. So, epiphany moments, right? So, mom's meds got messed up at one point, and that's not uncommon. And all of a sudden, and with that, I would hear the same 3 questions over and over again, and that's not enjoyable.
Right.
And I'm really close with my family. I'm really close with my mom.
Yeah.
And as you are, you get it. And so I pulled the photo albums off the shelf, and I was able to reconnect her to her thoughts by understanding where she was at. And we ended up getting her meds back on track, and she ended up coming back to us, which was wonderful. But it was that connection between 2 people, loved ones, understanding what could be going on, getting things right, and using tools, something as common as a photograph, to be able to help somebody. And it required human interaction. Mm-hmm. Computers not going to do that.
That's it. That's exactly where we are. But I fear that we need to figure out folks need to use this. First of all, you need to go to Vivid-Pix.com. That's the thing, and really get in line with bringing the analog to the digital for the purpose of conversation, not necessarily for an end to itself in terms of that, but I think that's what needs to happen. And this is the device that can get that done. I think you've got another, I don't know what the future for this is, but it almost seems like it could be its own social network in a way that does that. You know, you got something here, Rick. You really do. Congratulations. Congratulations.
It's a labor of love. And as I like describing it, maybe my sum up, I get to spend every day, all day with people when they're spending their time thinking about the most important thing in their life, family.
Wow. Hey, bravo, man. Bravo. I applaud you, sir. I really do.
Thank you. So we're trying to help other people do the same thing. Pay attention to what's important. Family and friends.
Wow. Hey, folks, vidpix.com. You got to go there. Go and order. Look around the site. Solutions, memory stations, software, education, scanning, news, support, and buy, and then get all those photographs you got out, get your mom with you and start going through them and have some fun. Yeah, a little pizza, deep dish, Chicago. What kind of pizza do you like, Rick?
I was born in Chicago. You know what I like.
Here. Yeah. Wait. I'm August 4th, 1962. How about you?
You're old. I'm September 25th.
Same year. Hey, folks, we're from the greatest year ever. I'll tell you why I say that. Because 1962, Rolling Stones' first concert. Yeah. And then it was the year that the environmental movement was born in terms of the the book, The Silent Spring, was published that year. It was also the year that the term personal computer was invented. Think about it. Yeah.
Totally.
We're at the seat of pop culture. I mean, we were literally, when we were born, there was no pop culture that people were familiar with today. Okay, that arguably, with the exception of the atomic bomb, didn't start before us. But even let's think about that, because the Cuban Missile Crisis unfolded later our year that we were born, right? And it came to a head the very next year. So I mean, we come from a heady time that has defined our era. And so, Rick, you're at the perfect position to create the product that ties our parents and grandparents with, you have kids, with our kids though, with the younger generation. And we're right in the middle. How perfect. How fitting.
We're lucky, aren't we?
We are. Hey, bravo, man. You're on to something here. You're on to something.
I so much appreciate the time that you've spent with me, and of course to all of your viewers and listeners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Folks, stick around, and we're going to talk in the background. Subscribe to Zinni62, and by the way, for those of you who see my video, thank you for the congratulations. This is our 20th year credential to cover the NFL draft. So, hey, stick around, folks. More to come. And Rick, stick around in the background. Subscribe. Again, bookmark his page. Remember, Vivid-Pix.com. Now, here's the back. He thought I was going to say Viv. Gotcha.
Vivid-Pix.com, like vivid colors, guy.
Right. You got it. All right. So that ends this stream, folks. I'll be back later. Don't have to move a muscle, Rick. Thanks.